love you. All the good times we had, I wish I could repeat them for the past 3 months. Love and feeling a little feeble. What's good, y'all? So today we're gonna be reacting to J. Cole Uncensored. Why he's not following their rules. Sway Universe. Shout out to Sway Universe. I've been watching him since I was like a little. Sway Universe, they whole little setup and everything is amazing. I always wanted to be on that show, or radio show, but still, that's one of my goals is to be rapping, freestyling on there, or rapping a verse on there for them. And they tell me what they think. But shout out to Sway in general. Shout out to Sway, honestly. Remember, everybody, chase your dreams. Remember, everybody, chase your dreams, because you can't hear me from this side. You already know the mic's right here. Oof. But I'm going to be getting another mic. It's going to be on this next week on Thursday. So stay tuned for that. But with that being said, let's get into the video.
Hey man, awesome performance.
Thank you, bro.
Incredible performance.
Appreciate that, man.
Yeah, man. Good to see you, brother.
Me too,
Good
man.
to see
Thank
you, man.
for coming all this way, too.
I like to put the performance to the songs to see how the songs translate on stage.
Word.
You know, and I learned a lot by watching you on stage. Before we talk about your show, I want to talk about the people you selected to be on this tour. Word. Jeremiah. What made you decide to put Jeremiah on the tour?
Jeremiah been doing incredible. His ear for melody and his ear for like hit records is crazy, but I worked with Jeremiah last year. Planes that's out right now.
Yeah.
We did that record last year when I was working on Forest Hill Drive in LA. I linked up with Jeremiah and I saw the talent firsthand working with him. So when it came time to go out on the road, it was like it made sense. You know, I'm a believer off of firsthand experience with Jeremiah.
I didn't expect to see a YG on this tour. How did he get selected?
I watch people, man. I watch people more than I even listen. You know what I mean? Like because he's a street dude and he make the type of music that he make, you wouldn't expect him to make the business moves that he makes.
You know what's interesting? I talked to YG earlier. He felt really strongly about the fact that you stood up for him because we know, he was in that shooting incident.
Yeah.
And he said there was a lot of folks that kind of didn't want to see him on this tour.
People scared of that, man. We doing business with a different type of people out here. They don't know that world at all.
Yeah.
And that scares them. Obviously, you're gonna get people voicing their concerns, but I don't believe in that because I seen the way he moved, and just in my interactions with him, he not stupid. So I just had to really break it down to him, let him know, yo, people are expecting you to fail.
Yeah.
So every decision you or your homeboys make gonna either make that true or false.
And I have to commend you because his crew is some real street dudes.
Oh, word up.
You know,
Yeah.
I met them all. He told me he was bringing them on tour to keep them off the streets, keeping them alive.
Yes.
You know, so I commend
That's
you
real.
for that. That's real, right?
Yeah, how could you not support that? You know what I mean?
Big Sean, what made you choose Big Sean to come out with you?
Big Sean's on fire, man. Me and Big Sean came in the game together, and we opened up the show for Wale, back in like 2009. So we started this climb together to see what he's done and came through in his catalog of hits. When he out there doing his show, I can hear it from the bus.
Yeah.
It's 40 minutes nonstop hits and smashes. So it's just like, of course I'm gonna bring him out as long as he is cool with coming out, and blessing me with that.
When you guys first formed Dreamville and you got the record deal, and that seemed like that natural progression for somebody who's been working so hard through the mixtapes, the tapes, the album, building your brand, doing it your own way. You always had the boss mentality, but now you're official, legitimate CEO.
Yes,
and so I was thinking about your artists, and I was curious to what made J. Cole pick certain artists. Let's start with Omen.
Omen, poet. Omen could do a whole album and not curse, or like do a whole rapping out curse and get the message across just as impactful as I would say with the curse word. Like, and not because he don't want to curse, just because his vocabulary is that extensive. His insight is that like profound that sometimes curse word is like gets in the way. It's taking up space. That's what I think about when I think about Omen. It's like a poet.
Let's talk about Boss.
Boss, man. It's crazy about Boss because Boss really had to earn it.
Yeah.
Boss had the advantage of seeing me from day one in Queens way before the record deal. When we just had records that E would just be playing around Queens, playing for people. And people being like, yo, who that? He'd be like, this is my man I go to school with. I remember the first song, I was like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah.
Just to be that good so fast. And he was still raw and like raw talent. But I saw it. But like I said, the fact that I knew him, it wasn't like I was gonna be like, come on, Boss.
Yeah.
He worked on for years. That's what happened with Boss. He had to prove it to me. But I don't want to just say that about him. I want to say why I admire him and respect Boss. And like his style, he's from Paris. He's from Queens, but he didn't move to Queens until like the third grade or something like that. So he has this like European ear I can't really describe. That's way different from my ear. So when you listen to his music, it's totally different from anything I could ever offer the world. It's vibey. We got a song together called Maybell. He got this beat because after a show we did in Belgium, he just went and went to these producers' studios, smoked a blunt with them and listened to beats all night. And he heard that one. When he came and played me that song, I was like, nigga, how could you ever get on this beat?
Yeah.
I would have never heard that. And what he did to the beat, it was genius. So that's what I respect about Boss. His openness to work with everybody and utilize all the resources around him. He's making our producers better, the Dreamville set producers. That's why I give it up to Boss on that level.
Okay, you really like Boss.
Yeah,
okay.
No, word up. Yeah, I had to say that, like, yo.
yeah, okay, I like him too. Kaz, who is this kid, Kaz?
Kaz is beast, just beast. I see myself in Kaz, young, hungry, vicious, raw, and he want to be the best. I see that eye of the tiger in him. He want to out-rap everybody. If he on a song with me, he want to try to destroy me. I see that in him. Saying like when I got on Stars Born with Jay, I'm trying to show out.
Yeah.
And that's what I see in Kaz, a young, hungry, South Central, different perspective too.
I always felt like you went against conventional wisdom in the game and in the way you approached everything. Even when you bring up being signed to Jay, you never really leaned on Jay.
Right.
This album having, really no features and then really exclusive collaborations. Why was that important for you to do this album that way?
It wasn't on purpose. It's never on purpose. What happened was, by the time I knew it, I had the album finished. I got rid of all old pressures that people think is the right way. All these old questions. What's the single? How long do you put the single out before the album? What's the radio spin? Who's on the album? They always ask that in interviews. That's old.
Yeah.
That's old, bro. I've been hearing that question since the 90s. What features you got? What producer you working with? And back in the days, it made sense because it was like, well, if I'm Biggie, maybe I could tap into this Wu-Tang audience if I get Method Man. It's another fan base that I guess there's some East Coast fan base, I can get this. And it ain't relevant no more. It's like, I built my own fan base.
Yeah.
I don't want yours.
Yeah.
So,
bruh, I felt that 500%. I feel like if you build your own fan base, doesn't really matter what you do. If you build your own fan base, you'll be okay at the end of the day. Like nothing will really like fuck you up or make it where it's like, oh no, I'm gonna struggle, or oh no, it's not gonna be great for me, or oh no, I need your help so you could build my fan. Like I see people basically leech off other people and be like, yeah, he made him. Like if you were some unknown artist and you had your own production thing and then you got with Wu-Tang back in the day, now people gonna know you as the Wu-Tang artist that got popular off Wu-Tang. You would have your own sound, if that makes sense. But nowadays, you can do whatever, and people know you just for you. I like that. Personally, I just like that. But, yeah.
So by the time I finished the album, that old question creeped up. Like, ain't nobody on the album. And the more I think about it, I want to keep it like that. Like, on this album, on this story, I didn't need nobody else's perspective, because I was writing it all. Not to say I ain't gonna never feature with nobody. I'm looking forward to that.
Guys like Big Crit, he puts the art above the business, you know, above making a radio single. You know, Kendrick did that this time around. You did that this time around. Is it that the art is more important to you?
I was the example for all of these guys, and nobody should ever do it again. I was the one that had to go through it to show everybody that, like, yo, this is not the way no more. You don't have to have the features. You don't have to drop the single. You don't have to have the radio record before they put your album out. You don't have to follow them rules. You can put out what you love and still sell records if you connecting with people. It ain't gonna be overnight.
Yeah.
You do art first and then build the business around that. That's what I figured out, and that's what I've been doing.
The art first.
Definitely, for sure. The last album was like, I had to literally come to grips with this album might not sell, because we ain't doing this traditionally. And I ain't had no singles, nobody ain't heard no music. It was a scary thing for me. But I believe, like, yo, even if it don't sell, I believe in this. Y'all like it? Cool, that's a blessing. It didn't sell? I came to terms with that already. It sold? You serious?
And it's so big.
Well, I guess the game just changed.
Yeah.
I guess the rules ain't what they said.
You know your audience. So watching the show, hearing the stories that you tell before the songs while watching you on stage brings so much more insight. Say, for example, Love Yours. You told a story about, you know, a billionaire, you know, and a billionaire can have all the money in the world, but could be miserable as fuck, basically.
Right.
Right. And you talked about, now I'm on the other side. You know, I've experienced this. I got the money. It ain't all what it worked out to be. What was your experience like when you finally start making money?
I ain't really got an answer for that because it doesn't resonate with me.
Yeah.
I don't have no cool answer for you because, like, I was never like gassed, like, oh, look how we getting this break. You know, I don't come from that world.
Yeah.
You know, I don't come from that world where I just can't wait to get money and stunt and show you that I got money and make a video on Instagram holding and talking to the money. That's not. That's
like put the stack on your ear.
Nah, I see that that's like the cool thing right now, but that's not cool. That's never been cool to me. Like, if it's cool to you, do it. But, you know, I just noticed that some of these people that got everything that we think we want, deep down they not happy, which I could relate to because I went through that period where it's like I had all these blessings, but the happiness wasn't there.
I feel like this album is also like preserving a certain part of the culture that, you know, you and I talked about some of the research you've done on culture,
right,
on hip hop,
yeah,
you know, going back and looking at some of the pioneers.
Yes.
And by even talking to that just grew my perspective on who you are, because you're kind of like a bridge for my generation and your generation. Things that confuse me about this generation of rappers seem like it confuses you too.
It don't confuse me because I understand them. I know them. Even if I don't know them personally, I know somebody that I grew up with that is them. So I understand the mentality. I also remember a time in the culture in my short life where it was like, felt more interesting, felt more exciting. Less like critical, less everybody worry about first week numbers and like, oh, who's the hottest? It was more like, yo, we getting this album finally? We getting the Nas album, we getting the J album finally? Oh, Lauryn Hill got an album? Jay-Z dropped on the same day as Lauryn Hill and Tribe Called Quest. Who knows the first week numbers? Who knows who beat who? Nobody gives a fuck. Back then, I'll be finding myself going back in time, like just trying to connect the dots. Like, I was just watching this documentary I told you about. It's called like Big Fun in the Big City or in the big town or whatever. It's like these Dutch dudes came over and did a documentary in the 80s on hip hop, this new thing called hip hop. And they had all these interviews. Grandmaster Flash, Dougie Fresh, they interviewed LL like in his crib in Queens. And when I look back, I'm like, they was having way more fun with this stuff than what we are.
Yeah.
It was way more about like the music, the energy, the culture. This is new. Now I feel like whether they know it or not, people are tired. These albums that's coming out, people bored, bro. It's the truth. And it's like the few bright spots in hip hop, it's like, it's sad that that's it. Because at one time, everything was a bright spot, you know what I mean? So I just be waiting for that new thing. What's that new thing that's coming?
Yeah.
I feel like something new is coming. I realized this as I was watching that same documentary. I was like, yo, when hip hop like came and got hot,
Yeah.
soul music, which was like an evolution of like rhythm and blues, which is like an evolution of like blues and jazz, you know, soul music, which was like in its heyday, that morphed into disco.
Yeah.
That morphed into something corny, something that was so pure at one point, morphed into disco, and now they seeing dun 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 dun.
Saturday Night
So
Fever.
you got exactly. You got the young people subconsciously like, we not fucking with that. We need something new. And what grew out of that? Hip hop.
Yeah.
I'm only saying that to say it feels to me like we could be in that stage. I ain't saying we are, because maybe hip hop come back to life. I mean, it's always gonna be here, but I'm saying it might be time for something new.
Yeah. You do something else that a lot of this generation rappers are scared to do, in my opinion, and speak a certain level of truth about what's going on in our communities, what's going on in today's society, globally, domestically, as a whole. Why are people scared to like talk about things of substance?
You know, I realize when you put yourself out there and say something, you leave yourself open for so much criticism, and you leave yourself open to be proven as like somebody that don't know what they talking about. It's a scary thing, especially when you just been training to be a rapper your whole life. You ain't been training to be no politician or no activist. Bro, a lot of these dudes just happy to be getting money. Just happy to be out the hood. They don't come from that.
Bro, I felt that shit 500%. Like, I'm gonna say it again. Like, I'm very vulnerable when it comes to my music. Hold on, let me try to turn this up. Yeah. Hello? Oh, that did not work. What about that? Oh, fuck no. That shit was loud. Hell no. I turned the wrong knob. That was my bad. But what I'm saying is, when it comes to like my music in general, I talked about my mom having ulcers. I've talked about shit I did towards my mom, my dad, and everything else. I let all my like scars be shown when it comes to music. I feel like you're supposed to express yourself that way. Like, you're supposed to tell something about yourself. Cause we gonna always have the punny I say punny party. Oh my god. Sometimes these words, it's just but we always gonna have those party type songs, the fucking type songs, the we don't give a fuck type songs, like all those type of songs. But we have to have like the soul body art of like music, like you talking about something real, organic, like really has substance to your music. You know what I'm saying? That's what I believe in, but that's just me. Let's get back to the video.
That mentality, and I can't blame them because they not living a life with a consciousness about why they are where they are, why we are where we are as a people. I can speak for myself as somebody who, since I was a kid, even if I couldn't verbalize it, I've been noticing. And if I notice, it's my job as an artist to write it down, jot it out, tell you what's on my mind. So I'm just doing, I feel like I got the responsibility because I see it. If you don't see it, how can I expect you to speak on it? I don't even want you trying.
Yeah.
You're gonna fuck it up. You're gonna fuck it up for all of us. That's why they put these niggas on CNN and on Fox News. Because they want them to say some stupid shit
stuff,
so they could be like, see?
There were rumblings about you and Kendrick collaborating on the project. Because the two of you just put out two of the most powerful albums we had in recent years.
Word.
You know, have y'all talked about, you know, let's do it? Or?
We always talking. I ain't going like, look, I'm not gonna add more fuel to the fire because I feel like it's only gonna pump it even more. Like, just know, like nothing has changed. I'm not gonna give you nothing like, oh, we cooking up right now, it's coming. Like, nah, just know. As long as the people still want it, as long as we still want it, that's all that matters.
Okay.
I'm not gonna like.
It ain't nothing. It ain't no more to add to it.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, listen, man. Powerful album.
Thank you, bro.
Congratulations, and I'm gonna tell everybody to come check out the tour.
Please, bro.
All right. J. Cole.
Thank you, bro.
My man.
Man, J. Cole's one of my inspirations. Not gonna lie to you. I write every day, bro. Like every day. Every day. I don't have the best life. everything I do for myself nowadays. Like I have to buy my own everything. You know what I'm saying? Everything you see, I did that. Like only reason I say that is because it inspires me. Like every time I walk in my room, I'm like, I built this from scratch with these hands, working hard. Built it out of nothing. My parents told me to build, and just keep building, and just keep building, and just keep growing. Like I tell all the artists I review, like I react to and stuff, just like keep chasing your dreams. You know, one day, sometime soon, your dreams will come true. With that being said, I'll stay tuned to the next video. Be sure to like, subscribe. Remember, things happen for a reason. Peace. Tauruio.